85,
90.
90, 95.
We're playing for keeps. We're on the market. Stay strong, sir. Sold!
Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 12th of August. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Pearce.
Before we say anything, shout out to my father on his 94th birthday, which was on Sunday night, and my mother's birthday is tomorrow.
It is.
Having said that, in the interest of me having a very lovely conversation with her tomorrow night, I'm not going to say her age. Suffice to say, she's older than me and younger than my father.
And young at heart, Phil.
Yes.
She's always been a very elegant and lovely lady, your mother. And,
there you go.
We wish her
all
well.
All
Yes.
of that. So I am blessed, I know, to have both my parents still with us.
Yeah.
And these are significant ages, Gary.
And they looked a lot better than you do at your age, didn't they?
It's
Phil?
true.
It's
Well,
true.
Having
How
dinner
is
with,
that?
I had
Yeah.
dinner with them both on Sunday night.
In fact, they
and
probably look a bit better than you do at their age, even now.
there's no
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Which is disappointing with all the work that you've had.
I was paying the bill,
Yeah.
and I said, the waitress said, how was it? Or the server, I suppose. I'm not allowed to say waitress anymore.
No.
The server said, how was it? And I said, it's my father's 94th birthday. And she was shocked. She said, wow, I thought he might have been 70, 75. So there's a compliment.
And you paid the bill?
I paid the bill. And
Did
then
you still have your father's card, do you? You still have your dad's card. That's good.
But you know, his sister Zara, who
Yes.
is a watcher of this show. So Zara, I'm hoping
Zara.
I'm hoping you're watching.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zara in Sydney, my
Yes.
auntie Zara, who you know
I
well.
do know her. She's a delightful lady.
Who
too,
has
Phil.
long, although not for a while,
Yeah.
has she sent us an email or a text
No, that's
or a
right.
message?
She was an early supporter on the sidelines of our business.
She was
cheering us on.
There's a challenge. She just celebrated her 100th birthday.
Wow, how about that?
And I've got to tell you, whilst age may have wearied the bodies of people that are 100, hasn't wearied her sharp intellect. Because let me tell you, when I rang her, she was just as sharp
On the
and
ball.
incredible.
Well, you've got some good genes, haven't you? Them Kingstons,
I have.
And that's not what our competitors want to hear, because they'd like to think that Philip Kingston will be riding out in the sunset the next few years, planning his retirement, quietening down. But the reality is, and I was lucky enough to have my parents into their 90s as well, Phil, God bless them, because my father and your father had their
Shared the same birthday
on the same day, believe it or not the same year, but the same day. We're not going anywhere. We're just getting started.
This may be the start of our best chapter.
Exactly right.
Goodness knows our financial planners are hoping for the next chapter to be our
They've
best.
got a few debts that they'd like to have paid while we're still out there rocking and rolling.
Well, interesting, and just a shout out to Harry Triggerboff, who I know watches this show
religiously
from time to time.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Harry Triggerboff is probably the biggest property developer Australia has ever seen. Meriton, an amazing company, but he's still cracking the whip from his desk. I think he's 93 or 94. So,
sharp and on the ball.
There it is. Although I'm not sure what my auctions are going to look and sound like when I'm 94, but I'm going to give it a good crack.
And goodness knows we'll still be wheeling you out there, Phil, because we have plenty of debt and plenty of reason for you to keep going.
Gary, let's talk about the weekend that was.
Before you do, you often on this show, you speak about things that you've watched, and I've just watched something that I was spellbound by. I loved it. The Billy Joel documentary.
I haven't watched that. Thank you for reminding us.
If you want to do yourself a favour, it is one of the greatest things
You sound
I've
like
ever seen.
Molly Meldrum. If you want to do yourselves a favour.
Well, you know why I said do yourselves a favour? Did you know the story
why?
Because he couldn't say on the ABC, go and buy it. He got in trouble for that because it was an ABC wasn't a commercial network.
The things we learn on this show.
From me, Phil, just, a source on the oracle of all things Molly Meldrum 70s and countdown in music.
Yes.
That's why he used to say, do yourself a favour. Because he couldn't say, go and buy it. Anyway,
got
to go and watch it. Billy Joel.
The Billy Joel documentary.
See it.
We'll watch that because I love Billy Joel. It's in fact my favourite go-to songs on my playlist are pretty much all Billy Joel songs.
Great story for everyone across the generations.
But speaking of Billy Joel and how he just keeps in reinventing himself across the ages, I've got a photo that we're going to put up on screen, Gary, and because you are the guest speaker in Queensland at the Business of Real Estate Conference, which is a very well-regarded conference for those of you that are wondering who would ask him to speak. But it's a very well-known conference. I might actually fly up for it just to cheer from the sidelines.
That'd be great.
But there's a photo that you've sent them for marketing, which is a photo, I'm pretty sure, for a long time ago, because I'm pretty
I
sure
took it at my school graduation.
the photograph we're going to put up now does not necessarily resemble the photograph that you're looking at in real time now. Yeah. But viewers, spot the difference of those teeth. Spot the difference.
I've got my teeth.
Those choppers are not the choppers from the
right.
previous photograph.
I want that. Well, I want the face to stay the same with the teeth to be changed, Phil. So I'm going to have to try to do something about it, because the teeth, the teeth of the. It's not the eyes that are the window of the soul. It's the teeth that are the windows to your soul.
A shout out to Larry Benge. Larry Benge, who is probably the #1 dentist if you want to have
he's not cheap, but he's worth
smile.
it. Yeah.
But shout out to Larry, because this work of yours is absolutely magnificent.
Now, Phil, they put me on this thing.
I reckon we're going to hear from Larry Benge's solicitors.
Why? We're promoting him.
No, we
send him a bill for advertising.
We are promoting him, but at the same time we're using you as the model of his work.
Well, Shane Warne was.
If we don't get a letter from Larry's solicitors, I'll be amazed.
Yeah, well, Shane Warne was his, one of his, wonderful examples of great teeth. So, he had a few people out there that looked pretty good. Anyway, Phil, this. They said to me, "Would you like to appear on this?" I said, "Yeah, that's great, speaker,
Yeah.
And then they said, "Oh, you're on a panel. It's a wisdom panel or something." And I'm going,
"Oh no,
hang on,
that's right. That's right. Them out.
Exactly right."
And they put you on a panel because they know if you speak on your own, you're just going to ramble on.
No, they put me on a panel, and then they said to me, "And don't worry, we've got a special way to get you up the stairs. There's a rail you can hold on to." And I'm thinking, I don't want to be on a wisdom panel, Phil. I want to be on an innovations panel or on a rising business. I don't want to be in that kind of. No. So they're changing the name of it.
Yeah,
anyway, it won't be called the wisdom panel. It'll be just called the old guys panel or something.
Is it at 4 o'clock on the last day?
Well, it is just before dinner. Just before dinner. At 5.
Just before everyone's looking. I've got to get to the airport.
Exactly right. Yeah, and I'm going to say at the end, thank you to all of you that stayed behind, all 5 of you. It's been really worthwhile.
Can we get some facts into the show, viewers? Interesting weekend across Melbourne, weekend across Australia. Yes. The industry came in at 71% in Melbourne. Gary Peer and Associates, for some reason, only achieved industry average. We were exactly at 71. Although we're going to put the towers up at 71 for the industry. We did actually get 71.42.
Exactly
so
right.
I'm going to take that 4.2 and sneak that in.
And let's put the tower in with just that tiny little bit extra. And do we have any the briefest of boast music? Yay! And that was about it. That's about all it was worth.
Having said that, a couple of interesting results across the weekend, Gary, where we had a beautiful property in Rosemont Avenue in Caulfield North, where I did the most fabulous auction and promptly passed it in.
No one passes them in like you do, Phil.
I'm getting really good at that. Having said that,
if you ever want a house converted from auction to private sale, here's your auction.
Having said that, we had a couple of buyers there, Gary, and the auction process often brings the buyers to the table.
It does.
And within an hour or so, Jeremy had taken the buyer who was there with a mild intention to purchase to actually purchase. So congratulations to the purchaser. I love that house. I think they bought a really good home. Rosemont Avenue, a great street. We also had the same thing happened, Gary, in Bruce Street in East Brighton, where passed it in, and within 24 hours, the wonderful Daniel Michmacher had taken a passed-in property to sold. So I believe that the auction process stimulates the sale process, even if it's not successful under the hammer.
So the message, Phil, is don't worry if it's passed in. I'm a keen observer of people. I am. I like people, as you know. I do like people. And I always look for the good in people.
You do?
Even those people that might be harder to find it with. But I always like to find the good in people. And I've got to say that I love watching language. And, when you have a passed-in auction, it's a bit like a funeral, Everybody's kind of... people like, and like it's just a process. It's going to be okay. And like Rosemont Avenue was a passing auction. And there were people that walked out and they were like,
very despondent,
very sorry. Wish you well. Sort of like all of this sort of like morose. And of course, 2 hours later the place is sold. So so if it's passed in, don't worry. What happens to those passed-in properties, Philip? Well, they sell very quickly, don't they?
Gary, let's be clear. Our normal clearance rate is in excess of 80% on average across the year.
It is.
So the 20% that we don't sell under the hammer, I would say 90% of the 20% are sold within a week or two. So,
exactly. So don't
it's
worry.
A process. Trust the process. TTP. TTP. Trust the process, TTP.
And don't worry about those passed-in properties. That's going to be the little heading this week,
Yep.
Philip. What happens to
Don't
those
worry.
passed-in? Don't
worry,
be happy.
TTP.
TTP.
Yeah, don't worry, TTP.
TTP stands for?
Trust the process.
Trust the process. I like
Trust
it.
the process.
Now, you've called out those two properties, and Phil, while the prices are undisclosed,
Yes.
I think it's okay just to say that Rosemont was quoted between 3.1 and 3.4.
Yes,
close enough to it.
sold within the range.
Sold within the range. Bruce Street was quoted between 1.6 and 1.75.
Yes.
Sold within the range.
Sold within the range.
So things are selling, and of course there's a lot of discussion at the moment about quote prices,
There
quoting
is,
and
there
underquoting.
is, there
and
is.
There's been some good commentary as well, where it just says that look, things just sell often for more than expected, and that's just the auction system. That's why vendors choose to go that way, Phil.
Yes.
Younger Avenue, well, that was a property that Jeremy Rosen sold. That sold for just a little over the range, Phil. Sold for $854. The range was $750 to $825. Well done to Joel Sir and Jeremy Rosen's on that one. Phil. St George's Avenue, Elsmere, also sold within its range.
St George's
which was,
Road, Gary.
I beg your pardon,
Thank
of course.
you.
St George, I should know. I delivered the newspaper there.
Yep.
2850 to 3050 was the range. It sold within the range. Tell us a bit about that property and that
Gary,
auction, Phil.
first of all, shout out to the vendors of that property. It had been in the same family's hands for decades. Lovely story there, because the family that owned this property, a whole lot of family members lived in St George's Road, but Villiers and Longstreet.
Yeah,
So a lot of that family all grew up literally within hundreds of metres of each other.
I probably knocked around with them. Were they my age?
You probably did, Gary.
Probably did.
Most of them look a lot younger than you.
Yeah, okay. But they haven't had to work with you for the last 30 years. I'm not surprised.
Good point. But I love those stories, and there's nothing like living in a village where, you know, I'm just going down the road to see mum or my cousin or my uncle or my
Get
aunt.
some breads from Frank's Rye Bread, Phil. Remember Frank's Rye Bread? Frank's were good.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
that was
The institution. That was the Baker Blue of its day.
That was the Baker Blue of its day, without question. Frank's Rye Bread with fresh butter and Vegemite. I reckon,
Did we knock off a whole loaf?
I reckon,
think we knocked off a whole loaf.
If I look back on our days pre-marriage and the amount of time we spent together eating rye bread, butter and Vegemite.
That's right.
It was nothing to get through a loaf or two.
It was joyous, wasn't it? My father would come in the morning
Simple
with a
days.
hot loaf.
Simple
Phil,
days.
I've got to tell you a little story about 8 Meadow Street, St Kilda East, because I was lucky enough to auction an apartment there. Sold for $920, just a little over the range. Well done to a lovely, fantastic buyer's advocate that was there, and a lovely young lady who bought that property, Philip, a bit of competition for it.
Yes.
But I did an auction a little while ago in that block. I didn't tell the vendors this, but I'll share it with you. And it was these fantastic gardens, but for some reason there was a wind or something in those gardens, and I don't know if you've ever had this, but my eyes started getting all glazy and my nose started running, and the auction was on, and I hit it, right?
Yep.
But
But you were spluttering and sneezing.
Sneezing and coughing, and internally I thought I was going. So I said to Daniel, "Look, Daniel, I'm looking forward to doing this auction, but can we not do it in the garden?"
Yeah.
My vendors love that garden.
Yeah,
I said it is a beautiful feature.
Dangerous.
So I went there, and before I put some stuff in my nose, I took an antihistamine, I did everything, and the auction started, and I thought, well, I smell it a little bit. Anyway, got through it fine.
Fascinating story. I'm glad that you shared that with
That's all right.
the
Your
viewers
life's
of
all the more
GPTV.
your life's all the more complete for it. 44 Northcote Avenue was our most competitive auction on the weekend.
Yes.
A lot of competition for that. 3 very strong buyers going for it, Philip, and sold beyond our range, which was somewhere in that mid ones, but it went a little bit higher than that, didn't it? So interesting. Buyers are out, although, you know, last week we thought, wow, it's going to be explosive. It was good, but it wasn't explosive.
Well, let's hope that the interest rate comes through, the interest rate cut comes through.
From this morning.
So
one from today.
Obviously, we're filming this pre it coming out.
You let the cat out of the bag.
So we don't know, but at the end of the day, if it comes through, I'm ready to say it's game on.
And there is a reasonable amount of listings. We've listed some beautiful homes. We'll talk about some of them coming up this weekend. We've got a bit going on, Phil, and it's going to strap yourself in, man, because it's going to be a busy 3 or 4 months.
Gary, you know me, I'm up early in the morning, big breakfast, gymnasium. I like to set my routine, because at the end of the day, we're counting the days now down till the end of the year. So let's get in and talk about what's coming up this weekend.
I'm up early in the morning too, Phil. I'm doing the form guide. I'm getting ready for the next day. You're up early. I'm still up early.
Yeah.
Let's go into it. What's happening this weekend?
Okay, the auction activity is picking up, although 18 auctions, Gary, which is what we have this weekend, is not a huge weekend for us when we're screaming out at you viewers, 30 auctions this weekend, then you know we're at full swing. But 18, that's enough to keep the wheels turning.
Yes, indeed.
Let's talk about what we've got.
Phil, we've got some lovely homes. Not all of them will get to auction, by the way, because you know our
selling quite a few
pre-auction sale rates have never been higher than recently, Phil. But we're going to kick off in Elwood, and Leo Samuel has the auction on us in Scott Street, a fine address. We've often sold many properties
Love
there.
this apartment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 basement car space, and Scott Street in Elwood is just the best address. And what a time to be buying it just before summer.
And Phil, I'm going to wrap this one in Williams Street in Murrumbeena because I've been to this property. In fact, I've listed it. It's a wonderful apartment. Phil, beautiful views of the park. It's got a great floor plan, 2 bed, 2 bathroom, and of course secure parking set up. This one is a ripping
Rishi Thacker and Graham Callan have been helping you there, Gary, so looking forward to that.
12:30, Phil, we've got 3 auctions on. You're going to kick off at 3 Spring Road, a fabulous address. You can go to that little pastry shop, what's it called?
We'll put that up on screen where you can get those incredible coffee scrolls.
Yes.
This, Gary, I love this house, and I do love Spring Road. This is 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. Leon Gusenfitter and Ben Eisner have been handling this property. That is a terrific property, beautiful parcel of land, fabulous swimming pool. Move straight in, you're set for life.
You know, it has happened to us once before. It might happen to us here because I'm in Takapuna Street at 12:30, which is around the corner, and it could be that our speakers start picking up each other's auctions.
Yeah.
That's a great fun game, Phil, because no one knows what they're bidding for how much, because we're both calling auctions on the
If
speakers.
you're holding the bid at the end, you don't know whether you bought Takapuna or Spring.
You have to work it out later, right?
Correct.
Anyway, 1 at 16 Takapuna around the corner from Spring Street is also being auctioned by me. Thankfully,
Gary,
at 12:30, meeting Joel Sir.
Joel Sir and Reno Pabalilor have been handling this property. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, which is always hard to find. That is a really good property. I love real estate like that.
Now, you often stumble over that Pabalor name. You know, I think what you should do, you know the song Volare?
Pabalor.
I think it should be like Volare, Pabalore, or.
So is it Pabalor or Pabalore?
I think we should make it Pabalore. Doesn't matter.
Reno, please make it your business. Seriously, I hate getting people's names wrong.
I know, and you stumble over his name a bit.
And Reno has been with us for long enough for me to have actually nailed this. So Reno, let's have a coffee and I will nail your name.
And Reno, are you okay for me? Because whatever your name is, I like Pabalore or I'm going to go with that, Phil.
Yes.
See how you go. Anyway,
no problems.
Reno Pabalore is going to be selling that property with Joel, and while that's happening, Phil, we're going to keep up the 12:30 groove with Leo Samuel in Lilymore Road.
Meeting his brother there, Gary. This is the most incredible home. First of all, it sits on a lot of land, and secondly, it's 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, car parking galore. That is a great property, and we love Lilymore Road.
We have a gap at 1:30, Phil, but we've got 3 auctions at 2:30. Do you know why?
Tell me.
I don't know. I thought you might. But anyway, we're going to be in Williams Road because I know you are a lover of this apartment because we've sold in this block before.
We have.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to buy in here, Philip, isn't
Gary,
it?
this is the best located building because it's on the corner of a side street, so it's not really on Williams Road, and it's walking distance to everywhere you want to be, including one of the best steaks where I'll be tomorrow night. I'll be at Bistro Thierry having their steak and chips.
Is that where you went with your dad?
No, we went to Albert's Wine Bar in Murray Street in Armidale. Shout out to...
How's that?
Incredible. Absolutely fantastic.
Did you have anything to eat or just drink?
No. We had a lovely dinner, but this property is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and in the most beautiful building, polished timber floors, period features. That is a ripper.
I may not be able to join you because Cadmus returns to the track on Saturday, Phil. Caulfield. Cadmus, the mighty Cadmus.
Yes.
Stick with it because it might be a good chance. It's going to be
all right.
Chances
of it winning is not high, Gary.
Probably not.
If you buy Ambrose Avenue in Cheltenham from Leo U or Leo Bar, then you'll be buying something with certainty. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and you've got plenty of car parking because you've got a double lock-up garage there, or at least parking for 2 cars. That is a winner of a property.
And Graham Callan is like a one-man band. Phil, he lists, he auctions, he sells, he does it all.
He's the complete agent,
he's the complete
Gary.
package. And
you can see him
road.
there with Rishi Thacker, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That's a really good apartment and very affordable.
And if you're still up and about, Philip, on Saturday afternoon, you can have a look at Cananook Avenue, Seaford at 3:30 p.m.
Yes, love Seaford, love the access to the beach from this property. Only apparently 400 metre via a trail to the beach. You can see Natalia and Leo Samuel, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of car parking, lots of land, wonderful home.
Let's move into Sunday's auctions, Philip. At 10:30 we've got double auction action. We are going to be in Kooyong Road. This time Jeremy Rosens is auctioning this terrific apartment.
He's meeting Darren Krongold and Reno Pabelor. Gee, I'm stumbling over that. I'm going to have to practice. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That's a great property on the Kooyong Road Hill, corner Malonga Court. I love that building, Gary. Love it.
I love that building as well, Phil. But I can't be at the auction with you because I'm going to be in one of my favourite streets in Caulfield North, Philip, Fitzgibbon Crescent, auctioning this masterpiece with Daniel Peer.
You're going to meet Daniel and Arlene Joffe there. 4 bedrooms, 3 magnificent bathrooms, double lock-up garage, everything that opens and shuts. Move straight in, get on with life, not spend another cent. That is fabulous.
And you can have a little sleep in, Phil, but at 11:30 we need you. Your presence and auction skills are required in 18 Edinburgh Avenue, Caulfield.
Gary, what a great address that is, without question. Daniel Peer, Romy Skolnick, I'll be meeting them there. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage. I just love that address.
As do I, Philip, as do we love Bundeera Road, where I was just there, Philip, opening at the grand opening of the new playground at Caulfield South Primary School.
Good on you.
I was one of the people that went there.
Did you cut the ribbon?
I didn't, because some kids cut the ribbon, and I moved in on them, but it got
muscle
dangerous.
like
I did,
push
but
the
then
kids
one of
out
them
of the
cut
way?
the scissors into the kid, and then there was a whole thing with the ambulance. I mean, that's a bad joke. No, it was very lovely, Phil. There was a lovely community at Caulfield South Primary School.
It's a beautiful
We're proud to support them. Anyway, let's talk about the home at 60 Bundeera Road.
60 Bundeera, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, undercover. That is the real package, Garrett. I love that pocket of Caulfield South. Walking distance, of course, to not only the school, but the wonderful Princess Park and incredible cafes, Mr. Brightside. You've got Fress, you've got Delish. That is the most amazing area to live.
You've got Hotham Street, Philip, at 12:30. I'm doing the auction at that particular apartment. I'm meeting Bernie Mel there with Daniel Peer.
Yes, you are, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. That's a really good property. Walking distance to everywhere you want to be.
And Leo Samuel just around the corner from there at 12:30. He's going to be in Brighton Road, Ripponlea.
Meeting Daniel Peer and Romy Skolnick. Or watch out for that, because it may get sold prior to auction. If it doesn't, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. A really good building.
How about this for a classic period home? What a beautiful looking property and on a lovely parcel of land, Philip. We're at 960 Glen Huntley Road, Caulfield South,
Gary,
at 1:30.
This is the surprise package, because let me tell you, when you walk into this house, it's like, whoa, what an amazing house. I did a video tour there. 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for many cars. It says 4 on the brochure. Let me tell you, that house is incredible today, but could be magnificent tomorrow.
And debatably, Phil, I know I've got some great offerings, but have we saved the best to last? I know this has been the most popular property we're auctioning this weekend, and this is in Alder Street, Caulfield
Gary,
South.
Daniel Fisher and Adun Gutman have been handling this property. 5 incredible bedrooms, 3 magnificent bathrooms, double lock-up garage, further car parking in front. This is a house with multiple living zones. You've got a lounge, dining room, kitchen, meals, family room. Then you've got an area upstairs, another landing. You've got a room at the front. I mean, this house is the complete package, and I love the fact that you can just walk to Aldi and Woolworths from there, literally get your little trolley and push it, because you don't need a car there.
Life doesn't get much better than living there in Alder Street. Phil, we've got a few properties to just review before we go. One of them has had a lot of people go through, Phil. You did a great video, and I love this house in Rosamond Street,
Gary, that is the most stunning renovation. Shout out to the builder that just does the most
wonderful job.
Fabulous work. Adam, I hope you're watching, because you are a standout builder and developer, and what a job you've done. You've just brought the 21st century into a home that was probably goes back 100 odd years. Completely redeveloped it. Daniel Peer, Daniel Michmacher, the Daniel show there. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking at the back via a roller door. Gary, that home I love.
While we're on a run with stunning period homes, there's another one here in wonderful Imperial Avenue, Caulfield Southfield.
Gary, Darren Krongold, Benjamin Rothschild have been handling this. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, really good parcel of land. You can move into that house and get on with life, or you can contemplate a future renovation subject to council approval. That is an amazing property.
I don't think there's much argument, Phil, that Burindi Road is the best street in Caulfield South. I think.
And what a house! What a house! This is Darren Krongold, Benjamin Rothschild have got the honours there. This is the big, solid brick house, concrete slab, built to last. Move straight in. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking under Croft. That is a brilliant property, complete with swimming pool, cabana, alfresco area. That is a seriously stylish home.
Iconic property, Philip. We're excited about that one coming to the market very soon for auction, and Powderham Road is a great address. And that brings us to a close. Tell us about this one.
Gary, Darren Krongold, Benjamin Rothschild. What a busy little team they are. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. Powderham is the most incredible location. Wonderful spot. So looking forward to all of those amazing offerings. Boy, I'm exhausted at the end of the show because it's all happening. Viewers, hopefully that interest rate came through, so hopefully there's thumbs up everywhere. If not, life goes on. I'm Philip Kingston. Thanks for watching.
I'm Gary Peer. We'll see you next week.